All right, how about now? How about now? Do we have sound now? Hmm. Let me know. 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 There we go. Oh, you gotta love technology. I've been trying all kinds of wonderful things. So, holy crap, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So, let's start that all over again. Wait. We need some music. Now, I'm assuming you can hear some music. I'm assuming you can hear some music. Ah, you know, you know, it's just going to be one of those mornings, but that's all right. That is all right. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Anne. I am on MikeCameron.ca, and Mitch is watching me there. Go to MikeCameron.ca/live. Brian, awesome, Brian. Good to see you here, my friend. One of the other things I enabled today on the website is a Q&A, question and answer. So I don't know if you guys can see that on the website. If you can, do me a favor and drop me a quick question in there. Once again, welcome to Men Up with Mike. My name is Mike Cameron, and as always, I am your host. Some days we have some fun and we have some challenges. Other days we have guests on and we talk about a lot of things, but this is a show where we talk all things leadership, personal development, growth, and in particular through the lens of what it means to be a man, what it means to be a dude. One of the things that I do is I help men excel. I help men get unstuck. I help leaders lead better. I help leaders create better, stronger, faster, more profitable organizations if that's your jam. And if it's not, again, I help dudes get unstuck. Good morning, Sylvester. How are you, my friend? It is good to see you here. So once again, if you're on the website and if you can see that Q&A thing, I would appreciate it if you would drop me a note and let me know that that is there. Again, trying some new features, trying to get this thing dialed in. I appreciate you guys being here through my fiddling and farting around and getting things organized. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I actually have some other presentation stuff that I will dial in that will give us a little bit more zest, so to speak. So today I wanted to talk. Hey, there you are, Anne. You found it. Nice. And do you see the Q&A thing, or is that asking too much? That might be asking just too much. I don't know. So once again, part of the work I do, you know what? I set this breakfast table for you guys every morning at 8:30, and I love that you show up to have a coffee with me, and I really appreciate it. But this isn't what I do for a living. So I've got to go get your coffee or walk away if you don't want to hear a sales pitch, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a sales pitch. Not a sales pitch. I'm just going to tell you what I do for a living, just in case you don't know. Hey, there you go, Mitch. Thank you for the Q&A. It does show up in a different spot, but it is there. So thank you for doing that. What I do for a living is I speak professionally. With COVID, I'm not doing a whole lot of live events, as you can well imagine. So the other thing I do is I coach. I do group coaching and I do one-on-one coaching. And once again, my objective is to help men get beyond stuck, to create that space where we can do that sort of emotional workout on a regular basis that's going to help you really reconnect with that inner self, who you are, what you're all about, what your purpose is, and really help you to soar, help you to excel, help you to become that best version of you. And I've got a couple of different ways that I do that. One-on-one coaching programs, I work with you as an individual, but I also have a group session. We limit them to 5 guys at a time, and we get together once a week. and just talk about some of the challenges that we're facing and how to get over them, how to get unstuck, and really unlock that fullest potential of who you are. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're trying to grow in your organization, whether you want to grow in your relationships as a human being, doesn't matter. We work together to, again, help you excel, help you succeed. I've got a new intake coming November 1st. So if you're interested, drop me a note, let me know. I can show you where that stuff lives. It's mikecameron.ca/lifestyle-by-design. I'll drop a link for that and you guys can see it. So if you want to support me financially, that's one way you can do it. I think the value is immense. One of the guys last week said, I've gotten more done in the last 5 weeks that I've been working with you than I've gotten done all year. It is really amazing some of the things that you can get done. Anyways, sorry, this is not supposed to be a big sales pitch, but I just wanted to share some of that with you guys and tell you again how much I do appreciate you joining in and watching with me. Derek, how are you, my friend? Good to see you here. All right. So let's talk about managing anxiety. Now, I want you to understand that I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. If you really, truly struggle with general anxiety disorder, you need to seek professional help. But I've worked with a lot of individuals on a one-on-one basis in a group environment with myself personally to manage stress and anxiety. And these are some of the practices that I've found that work really well, both for my clients and for myself. So I want to share them with you today. But again, keep in mind, if you've got general anxiety disorder, if you've got serious challenges with anxiety, it may be time to get some professional help. Talk to a psychologist, talk to a therapist, talk to somebody that can take you a little bit deeper than I can with my 7 tips on how to manage anxiety. But I just want to share with you my experience and some of the strategies, some of the practices that have worked well. So let's talk a little bit about what anxiety is. Anxiety is essentially a fear of the future. It's a fear of what's coming, what's going to happen down the road. We stress, we worry about things that are future focused. So one of the best ways that I found to manage that anxiety is just pulling it back to the right here, right now. Narrowing that focus to that present moment. So easier said than done, obviously. Obviously it is, because we get caught in this cycle. Yeah, but I can't just, this stuff is happening to me right now. But the consequence we're worried about is usually a future-focused concept. So that's an important thing to understand, to keep in mind. So I'm going to go back and check the chat and the Q&A. And yes, I'm still doing a men thing. I am still doing a men thing. You know what? I will put up a workshop for women, and if I get 4 women to sign up, I will run one for women, because I do think there are different strategies that are applicable to different genders. Like, we each have different unique challenges. Hey, good morning, Soren. How are you, brother? Good to see you here, my friend. All right. So let's talk a little bit about some practices to manage anxiety. Again, keeping in mind that I'm not a therapist. I got to do all the disclaimers. If this is a major struggle for you, seek professional help. If you've got general anxiety disorder, seek professional help. But if you just want a little help managing some stress, managing some of the anxiety that comes up for you, here's a few practices. 1, slow the fuck down. Take a breath. Good morning, Kathleen. Kathleen says, if you bring Michelle, I'm in. What? I'm not good enough? Come on. Slow down. One of the easiest ways to slow down is to use your breath. Notice when that anxiety comes up, start to notice and make those active choices to intentionally slow down your breathing. You know, a lot of times there's that physicality that comes into play. When we're anxious, we start breathing quickly. Our chest maybe gets tight. When you start to notice those things come up, take that breath. Slow down. Slow down. Number 2, catch those thoughts. Usually, when I get stressed, when I start to get anxious, those thoughts start to spiral out of control. And one leads to another, and they build on each other. So once we've practiced that pause, we've slowed down, just start to notice the thoughts. Even if you can't change the thoughts, start to notice them. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. With awareness comes choice. With awareness comes choice. So start to notice those thoughts. Depending on how far they've spiraled, maybe you can change them, maybe you can't. But at minimum, just try and notice them, catch them. Number 3, come back to that present moment. Again, anxiety is a worry about the future. If your boss is upset at you, if you've got financial challenges, these are the things that cause us anxiety, or some of the things. But usually they're future focused. What if I lose my job? It hasn't happened yet. Narrow your focus, dial it in, bring it back to right here, right now, in that present moment. Number 4, challenge that self-talk. Challenge that story in your head. Now that you're aware of it, you've started to notice it, start to challenge it. See what you can do. Number 5, create small wins. You know, maybe it's as simple as putting the coffee on, depending on how you're feeling. Anxiety and depression often go hand in hand. Find those small wins, capture those little moments and celebrate them. Move from moment to moment to moment, regardless of how small they may seem. Narrow your focus. Don't let your mind go more than 30 minutes ahead, or pick a time frame. As soon as you catch yourself thinking about something that's going to happen later this afternoon, bring it back. You know, if you need to send a note, make a plan, schedule an event, fine, do it. But that's the now, that's the moment. Schedule the event, send that email. But then come back to right here, right now. Create those small wins and move from win to win to win. number 6, I think we're on. I probably have more than 7. I just picked a number. Write them down. Write down those anxious feelings. Start to get to know that anxiety. Start to recognize what those fears are. Chances are you're going to find that they're not as likely to happen as you maybe make out in your head. And if you need to, this one didn't particularly work for me, but I've had others talk about it. Plan worry time. Set a window of time where you allow yourself to stress, where you allow yourself to feel anxious. This is my moment. Anne says, I can't tell you how much SOAR has helped me. There are no words. Thank you, Anne. And again, maybe that's number 7. Learn to soar. Slow down. Open up. Accept. So we can reconnect with our true selves. We can reconnect with our purpose. We can reconnect with who we really are. For me, that slowing down piece is huge. That practice of presence. Understanding, though, that in the moment, it can be a challenge. So we need to prepare in the times of calm for those moments when we do get anxious. Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Jeremy. How are you? Good to see you guys. So create a regular practice of slowing down. Practice that breath. Meditate. If you're okay calling it meditation, meditate. If you're not, just practice breathing. Good morning, Sherry. But we need to prepare in advance for those times when the anxiety hits us. When it comes on full force, is not always the time to practice. We want to practice these tools ahead of time. We want to practice these tools so that we're prepared. Again, I use the analogy of the storm, practicing the calm for the coming of the storm. When things are good, that's when we prepare. You know, it's no different than sports, war. You know, think of the Navy SEALs. They train in peacetime. So that when they're needed, they're ready. Same holds true for everything we do in life. Hockey teams, they don't only go and show up for games. In fact, they do a lot more practice when it's not the heat of the moment. When they can take a step back, they can evaluate what they're doing, how they're doing it, what's working, what's not. So there you go. There's your 7 things. I think we did more than 7. I'd recap them succinctly, but I didn't write them down. You know me, I wing it a little bit. but slow the fuck down. I know when we're in the throes of it, when we're in the thick of it, when we're feeling that, I gotta get shit done, it feels like the least relevant time to slow down. But in fact, it's the opposite. And I can assure you, you can get much more done with ease than you can with effort. Notice that self-talk. Notice the stories that are playing in your head that are causing that anxiety. I talked about this the other day. Thoughts are optional. Catch them. Notice them. Create those small wins. Even if it's just making that cup of coffee in the morning to get you started. Then move to the next one. Getting dressed. Whatever that is. Move from one to the next to the next. Challenge that self-talk. Write it down. Get to know your anxiety intimately. Write it a letter. Slow down so you can get a grip. I would say slow down so you can speed up. Slow down so you can speed up. And again, when I'm talking to the guys, that slow down thing seems impossible. I don't have fucking time to slow down. I got shit to do. You know what? 60 seconds will not cost you, but it could, in fact, save your life. It could, in fact, 10x your productivity by just taking that pause, taking that breath, slowing down. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some of the things that work for you? What are some of the things that you do when that anxiety comes up, when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling that pressure? Do you have strategies in place? Or do you wait till that comes up and then wing it? Again, this is part of what we talk about in our Lifestyle by Design program. It's about being intentional. It's about designing practices that you can implement when you need them. It's not about waiting and living a life of default. It's about living a life of fucking design. Kathleen, create a to-done list so you can see all the little or big things you've accomplished. I find that helpful when the to-do list is overwhelming. Yeah, absolutely. I actually like a to-be list. That's another one I'll talk about at some point. Oh, Anne, I know this applies to women as well. But yeah, Kathleen, a to-done list is a great idea. Check off some of those things. Again, narrow that focus into those bite-sized pieces. If your to-do list is 1,000 things long, pick one. Get it done. Depending where you're at mood-wise, maybe pick the easiest thing. Get it done. Get it done quickly. Create that win. Create that win so that you can move to the next one. Thank you, Brian. Brian says, if you're in Edmonton, call 211 if you need more advice on anxiety. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Brian. That's very, very important to understand. Again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. These are just some of the practices that have worked for me, have worked for some of my clients, but absolutely, if you really struggle with anxiety, call a professional. In Edmonton, you can call 211. We had Cornerstone Counseling on yesterday. They've got low income services. They've got low cost services depending on income. So really not a financial barrier to getting help when you need it. And you like my to-be list. Nice. I'm glad you like that. All right, my friends. Thank you once again for popping over to mikecameron.ca/live and checking me out there. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I hope, Brian, I don't know that have joined the community. I hope you will join the community. It would be great to see you there. I'm starting to post more and more things up there. And again, for our Lifestyle by Design crew, there's some private stuff for my group coaching, for my private clients, that kind of thing as well. So again, mini sales pitch. If you guys think you would like more Mike in your life and I could be helpful on a one-on-one basis or in a small group environment where we do very focused work on the shit that you're dealing with in the moment, let me know. And I would be more than happy to help you. And again, the other thing you can do to help me, if you haven't done so already, pick up a copy of my book, buy it for a friend, send it for a gift. Again, it's mikecameron.ca/book-purchase. You can find it there. All right, my friends, as always, continue to make beautiful shit happen and have yourself a fantastic day. Take care. Out music.